Here, we'll do it. I'll be first in line here, Carla. what do you think happened?
I think the judge is being very fair, and really, you can tell he's doing a lot of thinking on, both sides. He's hearing, he's challenging both arguments. I mean, just like he should. And I think he's doing a great job.
Do you think you're going to see some of these charges dropped?
I don't know. I think any person with any amount of common sense sitting in this courtroom probably feels the same way I do. John, if I'm late for work 3 times a year, I'm probably not going to get fired. If I am late for work 3 times a week over week, for an entire year, I'm probably not going to make it that long.
Right.
So I would be fired. So, I think it's just a matter of common sense and when it becomes abuse.
Now, do you think this has...
it's clear. Look, I have a hard time being objective on this, but it's clear to me it's an abuse of power. I mean, you just don't do that in the course of a workday.
Absolutely.
Understanding that it's an abuse of power, that wasn't one of the things that he was charged with, and I think that's one of the arguments that Judge Sweeney is making, is that what you charged him with was not necessarily illegal. John Leopold may be a scumbag, Leopold may be a horrible politician and public figure, but did he cross the line to being illegal?
It is an abuse of resources, absolutely. I mean, without a doubt. I have been in management positions before, and I would venture to say that not a single time did I ever ask an employee on the clock to go get me lunch. It's just, I know it's the difference between public and private sector, but it's just common sense.
What do you think about the argument that John Leopold's county executive 24 hours, 7 days a week, and that the threat exists for him 24 hours, 7 days a week?
It's never good when
I don't agree with that. I think, I think that it was always my understanding that the purpose of the security detail was not to provide protection 24/7. It is, in fact, to provide protection in very public settings, in public events. And I would say that that's necessary because you never know how people are going to react. But to expect a sergeant in the police department to deliver your newspaper, removing the circulars, drive 45 minutes from his home to yours to do so when, as the prosecution just said, any one of us could have that done for $20, $30 a month.
Absolutely. And so you really feel that the county executive took advantage of the security detail and as such took advantage of taxpayers in abusing his power in utilizing county funds.
The county executive will take advantage of anyone and everyone to further himself.
It was so maybe I'll
The argument that the next election is in 2014 seems quite irrelevant since the county executive is term limited and cannot seek re-election. Would you agree?
Here's the truth of the matter. This behavior has been ongoing since, well, I can only speak to when I joined the administration in August of 2007, so within the first year of the election. It has continued ever since. So, a lot of these behaviors are ones that we claimed years ago. So, the fact that, if you want to wait until the next election, so be it, but there's a whole lot of taxpayer dollars and a whole lot of more abuse that's going to take place between now and then.
With any kind of an dismissal or an acquittal of any of the charges here, I mean, what do you feel that has a bearing on your case?
Ultimately, I don't know what's going on with my case right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I obviously, here's where how I feel about it in regards to my case is that there is some very similar testimony and some very similar patterns of behavior that are drawn.
Do you know when your case is scheduled to go? I mean, do you have any kind of schedule at this point?
I am hoping that it will gain some momentum once this is behind us, regardless of the outcome.
Okay,
so
great.
you do believe that, or I don't want to put words in your mouth, do you believe that the county executive's actions were criminal as opposed to just, he's a bad guy?
I do not doubt for a minute that someone advised the county executive that these actions were illegal. Stealing campaign signs, removing them, defacing them, however you want to frame that, is wrong. It is, destruction, and okay, not a lawyer, but it would seem to me that it would be destruction or theft of someone else's property. So, any way you slice it, this behavior is just not acceptable from a public official.
Not acceptable or illegal?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not the judge. I
think that's the big question that Judge Sweeney is struggling with right now. Is
I'm
it
not the
unacceptable?
person to answer that question. I wouldn't even venture to try. I think that the judge is doing a great job. Whether it's a matter of a technicality or not, I don't know. But, I will... Look, this is the justice system in action, so I have every
regardless
faith that it'll play
of
out the way it should.
Regardless of the verdict, I think that the residents of Anne Arundel County certainly have a better image or vantage point as to what goes on in county government and can form their own opinion as to the county executive's actions.
My goal from day one has been simply that the truth come out about County Executive Leopold. That has been my goal, and that's all I've ever wanted. So, regardless of the outcome, it is public, and the public is more than capable of drawing their own conclusion and making their own decision about how to move forward.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your lunch.